All right, we're here in the Mooresburg, Tennessee shop of Scott Bloomquist. And Scott, let's start off by talking about 2012. You had some pretty big wins. You won the Commonwealth, you won the Firecracker, set a track record at Tazewell, and went on to win that race. So, what is there any moment about 2012 that really stands out to you as you look back?
You know, the Firecracker was a great weekend for us. That was probably our best we'd run up there. But, you know, the thing I guess that stands out more than anything is just too many seconds. We had a lot of second place finishes. And in a lot of the big events, you know, second. It's just like, but, you know, it's nice when you're that close, but getting that close and not bringing home the top check and the win, you know, it beats you up a little bit too. So, you know, this year not near as many wins as we're used to, but we still were right there, and you gotta be in second to get first.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times. So, you know, we're working hard right now on trying to. We've been analyzing and really studying where to pick that last little bit up. You know, I've got a test. I'm going to go test here this week, and you just got to keep testing and just keep on beating this stuff up. You know, there's so many different products on these cars that make a big difference, and just refining. I think next year is going to be a better year for us.
Yeah. Well, this place is just adorned with trophies everywhere, and just from watching you on Dirt on Dirt and the other interviews and being around you at the track, you seem like just an ultra competitive person. So I know the second places are not what you go to the track for.
No, there's no doubt. I mean, you know, there's only one winner, and you know, everybody wants to win, but we've had a tremendous amount of success. You know, with over 500 feature wins in our career, and you know, you just kind of can look back on different seasons, and some of them, just again, you might have been running second, and something happened, and then you end up winning the race, and you know, you cautions might fall right. You know, just some years it's just you have no luck. And when things don't go your way and you can run second, you know, you're still doing pretty good because there's a lot of tough competition out there, and people are spending plenty of money, and there's plenty of talent out there. It's probably I think the toughest group of racers or competition in any form of racing.
Well, that's one of the things I was going to talk to you about, is the level of competition. You know, maybe 10, 12 years ago, you might go to a track and have to beat two guys, and now, you know, there's Jimmy and there's Don O'Neill and the Clint Boyer cars and all that. And, of course, there's no shortage of money with the Clint Boyer stuff and the Bobby Labonte stuff and all that. So now the competition level is so high compared to what it was. And then if you go over to World Outlaws, of course, you got Josh Richards and Darrell Lanigan and all those folks as well.
Yeah, Rick Eckert. I mean, you know, they're and then on the non-point steals, you know, and we all end up at Eldora and end up, you know, now we got all of us in one place, which those are actually the events I like the most. You know, I just bring them all. You know, let's have them all. I like the tougher the odds, the more I get up for it. And but yeah, no doubt about it. Competition level is very intense, and nobody's lacking the funding and equipment anymore. You know, just like with us working with people on race cars, you know, that made me have to step it up also. You know, and Jimmy running our cars, you know, he does awesome in our cars, and I spend my time constantly testing and working on new things to test, and you know, once the guys get our cars, you know, I give them everything they need, you know, to run good and try to help them everywhere they go. And that just puts more on me to have to work harder to outrun myself.
Mm-hmm. Well, talking about how competitive it is in the second places and the wins, and if you had to grade yourself on 2012, just like if you were back in school, what kind of a grade do you think you'd give that season?
I'd have to say B. You know, when you got pluses and minuses in grades also. So it might even be a B minus. But again, as many seconds as we had, and as tough as racing is, I think that's pretty accurate. There's some guys I respect quite a bit that I talked to, and I actually was surprised. Shannon Babb being one of them, said he hadn't won a race that paid over $10,000, in 5-6 years. So it just lets people see those big races are tough, and everything's got to fall into place. You can't make any bad decisions, and you got to be on your A game. And when you win those, you earned them.
Well, looking forward to 2013, then what's it going to take to raise that grade up to an A?
Well, that's not something I'd really spell out, for anybody to be able to comprehend or understand. But there's a couple of areas that I've figured out that we could be stronger in, and that's been my main focus. Again, it's going to come down to just going and testing again. I've got a lot of new things, a lot of new ideas that I finally got put together. Now we just need to go test them and see where they fit into the overall picture. A lot of things you test might end up being good that day at that place, but that doesn't mean they apply everywhere.
Right. And do you need to get that? Do you foresee anything different coming up this year in terms of scheduling or anything like that other than what you've done the last couple of years?
No, they've already got the schedule out for the Lucas Oil Tour, and we're still going to run pretty much the same number of World of Outlaw events we did last year, and same with the UMP races that they have. That's UMP sanctioned races at Eldora. We'll be at the Eldora races. The only thing that's in the works different for this year, that'll be a first for me, is they've stopped doing the Prelude at Eldora, and they're having a truck race there. And I've already been contacted to run that race, and I pretty much count on us being at that race, and that'll be on television. That'll be an exciting deal, and we're looking forward to something new like that.
Yeah. So what about? I know the fans would be interested. You're always changing the paint scheme up, getting a little different look and all that. Do you foresee anything like that this year?
They can count on the green. Right now, I've got a deal that particular color can't be sold to anybody else, so it's one that it's easy to identify me on the racetrack, and especially TV races. It's quite a unique green and stands out. And we've got one more year, and then they'll be able to sell it to others. So we'll end up definitely being in a black and green. We've added red to the car. There might be some changes made, but it's still going to be the black and the green that we have. And, we'll play with some concepts, but then the following season, you might see a major change.
Well, just a couple more things. You were talking about the schedule there a little while ago. When you look at the schedule ahead, is there any one race that you really zero in on, or is it just every race week to week?
We prepare hard for all of them, but absolutely, when it gets time to go to the Dream, it's $100,000 to win. If you go into that event and winning it, you got to run 10. You got to win 10,000. 10,000 to win shows to do that. And let's say you're winning half the races you're running, and that's doing good. Now you look at how much travel, how much expense. You have to go to a lot of races to win that much money. Going to 10,000 win shows, so I get up for that, and we definitely might go a little bit farther with our preparation for that event, and And the same being with some of the other major events, the World 100, the Firecracker, Knoxville, Iowa. That's one I think a lot of people that that want to go see something different really need to consider going to Knoxville, Iowa. It's got such history with sprint cars, but the late models there, we race there 3 wide all night, and it's probably one of the best racetracks in the country. It's big flat half mile, and it'd be a great vacation for some people that want to go see something a little bit different, a little bit something new.
Well, on that schedule there, and this will be the last question, how demanding is that schedule now? Now that y'all start to broaden out, you're running races in Texas and Nebraska, and sometimes running 2 and 3 times a week. How demanding is it to travel and to keep up with all that?
It's obviously nothing like the sprint car guys have to endure. They go coast to coast and have near 100 shows a year. I would never want to have to do that. That I can't imagine. They don't ever get to come home. I enjoy coming home, and we got things we need to get done around the house, and I like to be with my family as much as I can. So it's demanding. The series has, I think, 45 shows on their schedule, and then we have again the Eldora events and the extra ones we run in Florida, and then there's four to five World Outlaw events. So we're looking close to 60 events this year, and that keeps you plenty busy. That's as busy as I need to be. I'm actually trying to get some things headed in a direction where they will keep a point fund on the big events, and try to get people more focused and sponsors behind putting their money into something like that, to where we might be able to get down to running 30, 40 shows a year, and try to get the events being bigger instead of more shows for less money. So that's my goal. But I don't consider myself old. I don't feel old. I think there's a lot of guys looking at that, and there's some races we don't need to be going to right now. So hopefully we'll be able to get this all in perspective.
All right. On TennesseeRacer.com, that's 2-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion Scott Bloomquist. Thank you for your time, Scott.